Good evening, all my party people. What's going on out there? We are back to the famous Indianapolis Brickyard here, doing the MX-5s on Sundays with Apex This Race League. I'm your host, Eric Elkins, here on Backseat Broadcasting. We're watching Federico Del Toro taking it around track right now. That very tight, slow infield before they get out onto the oval of this beautiful old racetrack. They actually go around the oval section backwards for all you NASCAR fans out there that might be wondering what's going on with that. Only go left. Let's take a quick look at the practice times while we still have them available before we jump right into the 10-minute qualifying session. Oops, we see Federico have a little spin there. As you can see, this is Adam Baltudis, second fastest in this long 2-hour practice session that the guys have been running. Comes around that oval banking for turn one of what is backwards through turn one, which is for the NASCAR guys out there, the oval runners. On an out lap, 2 minutes to go in this practice session. Let's get those up. Sorry, we still have the pit times up there. So Craig Ream pulling in the 144.3, and Adam Baltudis just 0.3 behind him. And this is just a tight infield here, as we can see. Be in second or third gear here. It's not going to be a lot of gear changes on the infield of this track. This is right in this middle little tiny straight. Not going to be a lot of overtaking. Oh, see, cuts that corner a little bit much, trying to get as much speed as possible out onto the oval banking. And guys are just going to be racing the track there, pretty much trying to get a couple tenths up on the guys in front of them so that they can do their actual passing and handiwork out here in the slipstream as we go down the pit straight with Adam to complete this hot lap. I am in my new recording space for the time being at my friend Melissa's, and so things are a little bit off and different from what I'm used to, but hopefully we can make it work this evening. Practice is over. Those are the times laid down. We're going to get right into that 10-minute qualifying session now. Let's take a quick look at the race info and get that track temp for us. Currently only 88 out on track, 75-degree air temp. We got a 40-minute race coming up. A 17X for a DQ. And damage is on as always.
Mic check.
And goodness gracious,
Gotcha.
We got these guys coming up on the broadcast. We can't be having none of that now. So we are going to cut away from the game just for a minute and get out of that capture while we adjust a few things in the simulator now. Make sure we don't get any of the naughty language from trackside. Get rid of the battle box, sorry about that. But here we have Adam coming across the line for the first time. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. You can see that I do not have everyone's paints loaded. We're gonna have to buzz over to that real quick. Make sure we can see how everybody dressed up today. Oh, there we have Kent Kruger back, excuse me. Rocking out with today's broadcast, everyone. Welcome back to Backseat Broadcasting. Here looks like Andres Garcia starting his first hot lap, coming through turns 1 and 2. I think those are just brilliant turns. They're quite forgiving, thank goodness, for a turn 1, which everybody likes. And I think there's a couple different lines that you can take through there, depending on your race situation and who is in front of you. It can be one of the better places to pass. We have Christopher Perez back on track. Kent Kruger coming around to finish his first lap. Hopefully set a time here for us. Get somebody up on the board. It's not this time though. And there is turn 1 there. Needing a lot of that curb. Adam is first on the board. Only a couple tenths down on his best practice time of the 1:44.6. Christopher Perez gets on the board with a 1:46.7. Andres Garcia jumps just ahead of him by 2 tenths to get into second place. We're seeing Vincent Wood coming down the pit straight now, not setting a time that might have been an outlap for him. Down the pit straight. Is he ready to set a hot lap for us? We're just about halfway done with our 10-minute qualifying. He is not on the board either, so 5 minutes in, and we only have three drivers on the board. These guys are pushing it in the infield section and finding themselves with some work to do, as it turns out, and ending up with a couple off-track incident points for themselves. Kent Kruger comes across the line, only 4th fastest with a 1:50.8. Vincent Wood coming back down the pit lane here. Is he able to set a time for us? No, these guys are, oh, he is. He goes second fastest with a 1:45.6. Ty Johnson immediately crossing the line. Good enough for third with a 1:45.7. Just slightly behind Vincent Wood there. Still waiting on times from Mark Bray, Federico Del Toro. And we've got a bunch of drivers who haven't even hit the track. Most importantly, Craig Ream, who was fastest in practice. Generally pretty quick around here with these Miatas. Let's see if Federico's able to set a time for us. He's good enough for fifth with a 1:46.3. So everybody who is on track, Andrew Rasmussen joins the lobby just in time. He's got 3 minutes to get some practice under his belt before we get going here. But not out on track at the moment is Valerie Asensio. Mark Bray, I think, was on track but has returned to the pit lane. Troy Banks, who was third fastest in practice, and Craig Green, who was fastest in practice, James Dean, David Fendick, and Andrew Rasmussen. We are all waiting for them to get out on the track as well. Kruger is good enough for third with a 1:45.6, just squeaking in there ahead of Ty Johnson. Vincent Wood betters his time with a 1:45.3, and at the moment Adam is the only one who has broken into the 1:44s out there. Cutting that final actual turn pretty heavily, so I wonder if that's where some of these guys are losing out a little bit with Federico comes across the line, not able to better his time with just over a minute left in the qualifying session. Oh, and just as I say that, Kent Kruger goes fastest overall with a 1:44.78, just a couple 100s faster than Adam there. He's got to be happy with that. And Adam not able to better his time. He does a 1:45 for his final lap. But Kent Kruger just squeaking in there by 7 1/1000ths. Is that 7? No. Sorry, I can't count. But but just a couple 100s there, separating him from second position. So he will lead us out. Ty Johnson hauling down the line. He's currently running in fourth, and just barely betters his time, but not enough to move him up any positions. Christopher Perez goes a little bit faster, but still not able to get ahead of Federico Del Toro there. And that's Ty giving us a little eventful end to our qualifying session here. And that's 10 minutes on the clock. So let's take a quick look at the starting grid. And hopefully we will have some of these drivers who did not qualify show up for the race here. We have Kent Kruger on pole position, just barely beating out Adam Baltutis. Vincent Wood starts the second row alongside Ty Johnson. Then we have Andres Garcia in fifth, Federico Toro, Christopher Perez, Craig Ream hopefully remembers to jump in his simulator right now, and Andrew Rasmussen, followed by Troy Banks, Valerie Asensio, Mark Bray, and then we have James Dean and David Fendick bringing up the back. We shall see who ends up joining us in a moment. That is Ty Johnson on row 2. And there is Craig Ream in the back. although deciding not to qualify with us. He has managed to join the track for the race, so he will have a nice little time carving through the infield section. Andrew Rasmussen, Troy Banks, Valerie Asensio, Mark Bray, and James Dean on track. So definitely filled out. So that is good to see. We are missing David Fendick, who did not qualify, who would line up next to James Dean there. Still waiting on our pole sitter of Kent Kruger, Andres Garcia and Federico Del Toro. And Kent Kruger is on track, just waiting for Mr. Toro to grid with us. We should be ready to do this outlap, but he may not make it to the grid in time. He may have to start in the pit lane here. We're ready to roll at the Brickyard. Back markers there, ready to catch up. This is a nice little outlap here to heat up those tires with a lot of slower corners. We're able to load the car and get those tires up to temp a little bit on this outlap. See a couple guys weaving back there. Some of those tires squealing on the outlap. Here they are on that little middle straight, where there can be moves done here if you get a great exit from the one before, but this next right-hander here is very difficult to make the move stick on. Out onto the oval section, coming around NASCAR 2 here, and the fastest car on track is about to peel into the pit lane as that Porsche safety car disappears, and we're going to wait on Kent Kruger, our pole sitter this evening, to take us around for this first lap. Side by side, everybody lines up and waits for that green flag, and we are green flag racing out here at the Brickyard. Oh, Adam Baltuda is getting back ahead of Vincent Wood, who just got a great launch and is right on the bumper of Kent Kruger there. He's got Andres Garcia trying to cut his way through. Kent takes the inside of turn one, always a good idea where the race starts. He gets away cleanly. There's Vincent Wood cutting his way through past Adam Baltudas. But Adam should have the racing line to the next one, but Vincent gets excellent speed around there. Andres Garcia now battling with the man who was on row one and getting past in the background. Troy Banks making up two positions. Oh, there's just one position. That's Mark Bray behind him, making up a couple positions. Out onto the middle straight. Here we go. And Andres Garcia really battling Adam Baltutis for that final podium position on lap 1. There's Christopher Perez. Craig Ream already up a couple positions. Ty Johnson making it past Adam Baltutis, who has just had a dismal first lap. He's down in 4th already. Trying to get the machine to work for him there. Now he's got Craig Ream, who is very, very quick, who is fastest in practice. Adam Baltutis, second fastest in practice. Kent Kruger with a 1.6 second lead out from Vincent Wood, from Andres Garcia, from Ty Johnson. And we're watching the battle for 5th. I did not think I would be seeing Adam Baltutis and Craig Ream battling for 5th place on the opening lap, but coming down to turn 1. Craig's on the inside. Adam carrying a miraculous amount of speed through it. Comes out the victor on the other side. And you got to look out for Christopher Perez. And his little pony just storming around the outside. I said there weren't going to be any battles on the infield here. Here's Andres Garcia, who's made his way up to 3rd position on the opening lap from 5th. Hunting down Vincent Wood. Kent Kruger, if he can hold it, is just moving himself further and further out from the pack. He's followed by Vincent Wood, of course, who just had a blistering start to this race. And Adam Baltutis has been able to hold off Craig Ream for now, as they are chasing down the pack ahead of them, trying to make up some of those positions. With this tight, slow end to the lap, it's very difficult to, and that's a big corner cut by Adam. It doesn't look like he's getting any slowdown from it though. I think he was testing that one out in practice and finding that to be the quickest way across the track. Oh, and there's Andrew Rasmussen into the fences. Don't know quite what has happened there. Federico Del Toro did not grid with us, and he has fallen back down the order. It looks he's got red names all around him, but don't pay attention to that. He is on the lead lap with everybody else. Oh, the battle for 2nd is going on as Andres Garcia makes his way by, but Vincent Wood is just going to cover up all of that turn 1 there. Oh, but too much of it. Oh, he takes the entire racetrack. Oh, goodness. Is that Ty Johnson missing a wheel? No, it was a netcode error there. And there goes Craig Ream storming around the outside. Adam Baltutis back up to 3rd place. Now sees Andres Garcia just ahead of him. Some great racing here at Indy. This is a great car for it. Adam Baltutis placing that car very nicely. And that's given Kent Kruger a 4.35 second lead at the top of this pack. And that's Adam Baltutis making that happen. He's back up to 2nd position, so where he started, well done, Adam, within a matter of 3 laps, getting back to where he's supposed to be, and now it's 4.1. Oh, and that's Craig Ream taken to the grass, managing to hold on, but losing those places he fought so hard for. We got a nice little battle coming down the pit straight here. Here's Christopher Perez taking to the outside of Ty Johnson. That's a battle for 4th. And he's getting it done before turn 1. Adam Baltutis taking to the inside to block off from Andres Garcia. He stays ahead. Federico Del Toro battling Mark Bray for 8th, and he's got it up there and throwing it into turn 1. If you get too much of that curb, like Ty Johnson found out, you will skip around and end up in the grass on the far side and lose a position or 2. That's Craig Ream battling him, trying to get that position back. He's having a lot of fun here on the infield. He's really working that Miata, and I think these are just, oh, it's Ty. I thought Ty almost was going to get a snap oversteer there, but holds on to it. And these Miatas are just awesome for the interior of this racetrack. Back up the battle for second. Still raging on. Andrew Rasmussen finds himself right to the tail of this race. Oh, and Vincent Wood back there too. I did not see what had happened to Vincent Wood. Let's take a quick look back here. He was right in the front. Was this just his incident? Oh, when he got a little punted there by Ty. It's very difficult when you turn it like that in turn one, and he just had to wait for the pack to come around. Greg Ream holding on to fifth now. Adam Baltutis under a bunch of pressure from Andres Garcia for that second place. He wants it back. And there is Kent Kruger in the foreground, but not really being tested. It's such a slow racetrack, you can see so many racers in one shot, even though they may be seconds apart. A little bit further back, let's take a look. Here's Ty Johnson currently running in sixth, not having the best race. Troy Banks behind him has made up 3 positions already. He's in seventh, having not qualified with us. Usually pretty consistent and comfortable in the Miatas. Federico did qualify with us, but failed to grid. So he was started from the pit lane and started from the very back. Excuse me, folks, we're going to go right back to that battle up for second into turn one. Andres being very courteous and just putting him under pressure there, wanting him to make a mistake, putting him on awkward racing lines. Here's Troy Banks, who's got a nice little draft down into turn one. James Dean trying to pull up to the back of Mark Bray. And he got himself a nice little tow. Valerie follows just behind him, having just put in her best lap of the race, catching up to these guys. Nice and steady, like the old Marines saying, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And I was watching some guys recently that reminded me of that. Here is Craig Ream pulling up to the back of Christopher Perez in 4th place. But who needs smooth anyways? Sometimes with these Miatas, it's just so much fun to throw this weight around the corner. Pretty much listening to an orchestra of tires the entire way. Here's Craig Ream. He should have this one on the inside of Christopher Perez. Troy Banks also doing some handiwork on the inside, trying to make this move easily on Ty Johnson, who gives it up and provides himself a better line than Troy through turns 1 and 2. Almost getting his nose in there to challenge him around the outside of 3. Vincent Wood, unfortunately, kicked right to the back of this race after starting in 3rd and hopping right up to 2nd off the get-go. King Kruger's lead, 3.2 at the moment up top. Oof. That's what I'm talking about, just listening to those tires whine and Adam Baltudis liked the sound of them a little bit too much. So he's really throwing that car around this track, and that's going to bump Craig's lead back up to 4 seconds. Adam finds himself in 7th place. Got to be frustrated after that. That hands another one back to Troy Banks and Ty Johnson. Andres Garcia now comfortably in 2nd with a 1.6 second lead above Craig Ream, who is now in 3rd, storming his way to the front of the racetrack. With only 13 minutes down, you would think Craig might get there. It's about 5 seconds up the road is first place. And he is usually pretty slow, or not, slow and steady, which is, as we previously mentioned, very fast. Troy Banks seemingly outbraking himself, having some sort of issue there. And Ty Johnson and Adam Baltudis get by quite easily. That's really tricky little section there. A real tight left-hander followed by a real tight right-hander. Oh! And Craig Ream getting around Andres Garcia a little bit easily there. You guys having just small issues at the slow speeds of some of these corners. You think all lap about that long straight and trying to get a place up on somebody, but you got to focus on the corners at hand first. Oh man, and 15 minutes down in this race, we have seen some awesome battles going on so far. Here's Vincent trying to claw his way back up the field, taken to the inside of Valerie. He almost goes a little deep into turn 2 again. Oh, almost opened the door back up for Valerie to get in there. And there are so many lines through turns 1 and 2. You really sort of want to keep them as straight as possible, keep the straightest chicane you possibly can. Adam Baltudis still in 6th. And he is towing Troy Banks around the track. Mark Gray able to pull off of James Dean a little bit. Give himself some breathing room. And behind him it's Vincent and Valerie. Oh, but Vincent Wood has gone off track. Oh, during those really difficult, slow sections there. Kent Kruger is into turn 1. Craig Ream still dealing with, Andres Garcia, who really outbrakes himself there and ends up in the grass to Craig's relief. Now he's got Christopher Perez to deal with as he scrapes off all the junk on his tires. Coming around the final tight turn. Oh, no, sorry, I'm hella mistaken. And that's Ty Johnson leading this pack that Troy was able to get by earlier. He will definitely feel confident coming up to the back of this, hoping that Adam pushes Ty into a little mistake. We're coming down the middle back straight here. Just ahead of them, battle for third is going on. It's Andres Garcia just ahead of him. Just staying a tenth ahead. That's all you're gonna need. Chris trying to get a hold of those tires. Get the best one he can. He's doing a shake and bake down this pit straight here. Giving each other a little tow. He just wants to outbrake him if he can. He decides better of it. Gets back in line for a better turn in. He gets the apex of turn 1. He's going to be right on his bumper here. If he can hold it, gets a little snap oversteer. Oh, heavens. He has to avoid the swerving Andres Garcia, who comes back onto the racing line here. We're with Andrew Rasmussen, trying to get past Valerie, but no going to be having here. She is definitely on the racing line, and he is most certainly not. He's almost going to give her the boot off the track. Oh, and that's Adam Baltudas leading, and now Troy Banks in the middle of this scrap. He's trying to stay with the toe of Adam Baltudas, who should probably quickly disappear. We're halfway done with our race. 20 minutes on the clock at the moment. And as these guys come to terms with the track, it's just going to be consistency, consistency, consistency towards the end of this race. Andrew taking to the inside. Almost seemingly outbraked himself, but he managed to hold on. Here's Christopher Perez after his little accident. He's coming to a stop here on the racetrack. I don't know if he has an issue or he has to do something in real life, but he is stopping on the track. Not leaving the track, he is still just sitting there. And Troy, with that toe, able to stay up with Adam for the moment, who is currently in 4th. Troy is in 5th. Christopher Perez, I don't know exactly what happened, but he is pulled to the inside of the racetrack at the moment. Kent Kruger's lead above Craig Ream is only 2.8 at the moment. It was just about 5 seconds a little bit ago. as these tires start to wear out, I'm sure they're feeling it already. I imagine we will start to get some rear tire fading and around these tight corners as they get on the accelerator. A couple of snap oversteer moments. Here's Troy Banks pulling just 2/10 behind Adam Baltudis on the pit straight. Nothing happened at the moment. And that's Andres Garcia just ahead of them. Christopher Perez decides to turn his car back on and keep racing with us here. Andres Garcia sitting in that final podium position. He will not be feeling too comfortable about this at the moment, having just shaken off Christopher Perez a couple laps ago. Now he's got Adam Baltudis and Troy Banks hot on his heels. Good exit from that tight right-hander, crucial. While I have everybody's attention, I am so happy to announce that I have set my simulator back up after not racing for about 3 or 4 months there. Got it out of storage, now I have somewhere to put it. And I raced my ass off yesterday. Oh, so much fun. Just really enjoying the art and craft of it all and getting back in the cockpit for so long. I was really happy in the Ferrari races. I went from 15th to 5th. In that race, pretty much the only one I didn't crash in. So making it through a race does feel quite good. Here's Troy Banks still looking at the back of Adam here. Has not been able to push him into a mistake so far. He might have to make a move one of these times. He also just knows his consistency is pretty good for a points tally here. Maybe they can push Andres Garcia into a mistake as he's just a 10th ahead of Adam Baltudis, who takes to the inside, and they're going to scrap, and that's going to open the door for Troy here to get one up on somebody. Adam's got to be careful that he doesn't end up losing one here. Oh, Adam Baltudis decides might as well just let Troy through. Maybe this fight has just been burning up his tires. He's pushing hard. Didn't quite know what was going on there. We thought, you have a go, Troy, see what you can do. He had a slowdown or something. He had to give it up, but it was awfully strange. Now he's on the bumper of Troy Banks, and let's see how Troy is able to hold the pressure of being followed so closely down to turn 1, never knowing if the person behind you is going to make the move this lap, or whenever he tries to break that toe. Andres Garcia with a 0.7 second lead coming into turn 1. Craig Ream is way up the road with a 9.6 second. He's pulling up to the back of Kent Kruger. He's just about made his second lead for the first position in this race. Coming around to the right, the very tight left-hander followed by the very tight right-hander. We're going to get onto the back straight in the middle of the infield section. Ty Johnson now. A long line of cars coming down the the back straight. This is all a battle for third position. And everyone is having to attack and defend. Oh, and Adam gets back to the inside of his favorite turn there. And they're going door to door down the pit straight. Oh, and Troy Banks loses too as Ty Johnson follows Adam through that door as Troy is left out to dry on the outside of that one. Coming through NASCAR 1 here onto the pit straight. And Troy's not going to take that laying down. He cuts over to the inside for turn 1. And Ty just had, oh, and brilliant move by Troy Banks. Oh, it was going to be so brilliant. He ended up in the grass, but takes the shortest line to get back to racing with these guys. He's definitely going to get a slow down for that. And he might just have to let somebody back through, at least Ty and Adam, for the slow down. But it was ballsy. It was good to see Troy try the move down into turn 1. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is now heating up as Craig Ream, who did not even qualify for us, trying to put on a show. He's up 6 positions so far in this race. The other notable people are Troy Banks, Mark Bray, and James Dean, who have all made up 4 apiece. Half a second between the race leaders here. And Craig Ream, uncharacteristically, starting to throw this thing around. Ken Kruger has been sitting pretty at the, very comfortable at the top of the standings. Goodness gracious, almost like Craig Ream let off some pedal there. Ken taking to the inside, and Craig Ream avoiding him. Oh goodness, couldn't even see where Kent was going there for a second, but that wild style has kept him in the lead. You don't have to be the fastest. Just got to scare the crap out of everybody else, and they won't try anything. And Craig is now starting to load those tires up. A little bit further back, Ty Johnson has gotten past Adam Baltunis. Oh, sorry, hasn't he been past Adam Baltunis? Yes. But luckily for Andres Garcia, he's broken free about 1.3 down the road. A little off track from Troy Banks there. We have 10 minutes to go in this first race here at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been an awesome race so far with the Miatas. I hope that the Camel GT Evo and the LMP2 GTE IMSA class provides just as much fun here. This has been awesome. Craig Ream taking to that outside. Ken Kruger just trying to protect that inside line as hard as possible. A little bit more movement under Kent's seat than Craig under braking there. He hasn't had to follow anybody, and he's been running his own lap times thus far. He hasn't had to fight anybody. Got great little battle coming here through NASCAR 1. And that's Andrew trying to get up on James Dean here. Looks like he might be able to pull it off by the end of the straight. He's being shown the inside of the racetrack. Oh, and James Dean almost outbrakes himself, takes a very central line into turns 1 and 2. And that gap that Andres Garcia had is gone. He lost a second in the last lap. He's now got Ty Johnson just a quarter of a second behind him. As we come on to the straights. Oh, and that's Andres Garcia to the inside. Ty Johnson might get this one done here. Mr. Garcia looking a little squirrely under there. Ty's got to be wary of Adam Baltutis, who had a better line, and Troy Banks. Oh, Andres sliding it around there, missing the apex. Bringing these guys right back into play. It has been so tight in this midfield. Say it's the midfield. It's pretty much been the battle from 3rd to 6th. I apologize to everybody who didn't get a ton of screen time today. This racing in for these guys has just been superb today. Everybody being very respectful, and for a tight infield, nobody's been banging too many doors. Baltutis finally getting the fire under him, putting Ty under a lot of pressure. Just got to outbreak him. Troy almost wants to make it 3 wide as they come down the pit straight. And Andres just got to be thinking, please don't punt me, everyone. And Troy Banks makes it through too. Ty Johnson, the big loser. Oh, sorry, that sounds bad, but he is the big loser on that occasion. Losing out 2 positions. Adam to the apex inside of this one. Andres taking a little bit wide the last couple laps as these tires are really fading. Ty fighting right back, and Troy Banks dropping from 4th to 6th. Just that pit straight back there. Also, a big shout, Mr. Lewis Hamilton, who took his 7th F1 title early this morning. Well done, Lewis, having started in like 6th or something like that. He had a miserable qualifying. He should fight his way back right at the death. And everybody who said it was just the car, he lapped his teammate on that race. It wasn't his best performance, but it turned into one just by his persistence and forcing his way forward. Credit to him, and credit to Mercedes with another Constructors' Championship as well. Oh, and Troy making the move here. No. Deciding he didn't get enough of a slipstream for it. Back up top, Kent Kruger turning in just ahead of Craig Ream still. Maybe Craig is just waiting for his moment. As got 4 minutes on the clock to make it happen. Maybe he's having fun racing with Kent. Kent is also putting on a little defensive clinic here. Troy Banks almost getting his nose in there on the inside. It wouldn't have been very good for him had he been able to do that as they come down the back straight. Going for it this lap. This is his opportunity. I imagine this will be the penultimate lap with 2 to go. He's got to make it sometime. He's got his nose ahead, but he's on the outside of this turn. He's got to outbrake Kent here to make it stick for good. He doesn't this time. But it is a warning shot. Oh, he tries to get back side by side with Kruger to make him work for it, but it didn't happen that time. Andres Garcia still leading this train. He's the only one that's not swapping positions with the guys around him. He's able to hold these guys off for now. See the different lines that these guys are taking through these turns, trying to push each other into a mistake or find a 10th here or there. Adam is getting a little bit more aggressive here in the closing stages of the lap, trying to make that move, get on the podium, having started in 2nd place, which is well down the road, about 7 seconds down the road for him now. Greg taking to the outside again, but you can hear his tires. It's very, very difficult to get that extra launch you need. Now he's almost a full car length ahead of Kent, but not quite enough. Oh, they're both real squarely under braking, and both make it through turn 1 cleanly, having been a little side to side there. Kent Kruger Craig Ream taking the lead right on the final lap with 20 seconds to go. Ty Johnson says, hey, that's a great idea. We'll get ahead of Troy, relegate him down to 6th yet again. Oh, and I missed the move on Andres Garcia by Adam Baltudis. I think it was just into turn 1 like you would expect here. Here they go drag racing, and Adam does have that inside line. And Andres just decides now is not the moment. Oh, and Troy gives him a little punt for good measure, and that is what slows him up for Ty Johnson. And a beautiful battle as Andres gets back ahead of Adam, fighting him so hard for that final podium position. Adam only had it for about a half a lap. Well done from Mr. Garcia as Craig Ream looks to take the win here. Coming around NASCAR 1. That should be the checkered flag for Craig. Kent is just going to drag race him down the strip here. Who's going to win out? Oh, it's Kent Kruger, just by inches. Beautiful, beautiful racing. Oh, and Andres Garcia comes soaring into this accident area. Everybody crossing the line. Beautiful Kent Kruger by 3/100ths of a second. That was amazing end to the race. Andres Garcia, final podium position, followed by Adam Baltutis, Ty Johnson, and Troy Banks. Federico Del Toro coming down the pit straight. I can't believe what a final lap. Craig pulled the trigger too soon, a lap too soon, and Craig Kruger takes to that outside, scorching his tires. Mark Bray is going to bring it home in 8th. Andres Garcia in 9th. James Dean in 10th. Christopher Perez in 11th. Valerie in 12th. And Vincent Wood is going to unfortunately come home in 13th position. Just a killer end to the race there as Kent Kruger snatches it back and gives us our first photo finish of the year. Hopefully he is still photo worthy after that accident into the pit wall. He's got to be feeling good about that one. Just fantastic work, guys. He and Craig, killer battle towards the end. Let's take a quick look at those race results. Kent Kruger was on pole position and brings it home in first place. Greg Ream pushes him all the way, but can only finish second. Andres Garcia holds off the pack to finish in third. He's followed by Adam Baltutis, Ty Johnson, and Troy Banks out there. Federico Del Toro brings it home in 7th, followed by Mark Bray, Andrew Rasmussen, James Dean, Christopher Perez, Valerie Arsencio in 12th, and Vincent Wood in 13th. That was a killer race. I hope the rest of the week is just as good. Make sure you join us for the Camel GT Evo class on Wednesdays, followed by the IMSA LMP2s on Thursday. I can only hope we will see some more of this good stuff out there. Thanks everyone for showing up and racing so hard and so cleanly right till the very end. That was super fun. As always, make sure you hit that thumbs down button. Make sure you never subscribe to my channel. And always hit that bell an even number of times. See you on Wednesday, everybody. Take it easy.